Hey there everybody, my name is Moshan of Groovesizer and I'm back again to look at our sampler. It's the Mynah. And if you saw the previous video where we looked at all of the per voice functionality, this time around we're going to be looking at all of the master functionality. Now, the per voice functionality was accessed with function F1 and then all of these step buttons. And so likewise, our master settings are accessed with F8 and these step buttons. Our F8 on its own is also our stop start, like that. So on F8 plus A1, we have our pattern select. So you'll see in this song, we have 4 patterns that we can access, and we access those by hitting the corresponding step button over here. Next to that, on F8 plus A2, we have song select, and then F8 plus A3, we have bank select. So what we have are 16 banks, and in each of those 16 banks, we have 16 songs, and within each of the 16 songs, we have 16 patterns. Now, to actually select a pattern in a song, you work your way backwards. So you start with a bank. I'm going to select our bank 16. In this case is our demo content. I'm going to step to song select, and now I can select one of our songs over here. Let's pick the first one. It's Archipelago. Then I go to pattern select, and now we see the 4 patterns that are available. So let's play that for a sec. I switch between the patterns. You get a little indicator when that next pattern is going to start. Cool. So to save a pattern, we currently have this pattern A4 in memory. And so to save it to a slot, I long press. So let's say we want to save it to A8. I'm just going to long press here. And now it's made a copy of that on A8. And so you can make changes to that very easily and make variations on a pattern that you have going. There are a couple of hidden features that I should let you know about. So currently we're on A8. If I hold a step step button that has a pattern associated with it already, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8, you will get some options there. So the first one is to replace. Do I want to save over this current one? I can just say press A8 again to OK it. But hidden functionality is on the potentiometer here when it's blinking like this. I can also replace with the first option. Second option is to clear. So I can delete the pattern, which we'll do in a sec. I can also choose to copy it. So I can copy it and then go paste it somewhere else. But for now, let's get rid of it. And I'm going to clear it. Press A8 again, and it's cleared. So you'll see it's gone. So I'll select one of our other patterns again. So we spoke about our song select, our bank select. Next up, we have our song mode. So in our song mode, we have access to these patterns that we have already defined. So A1 to A4 are defined. And now in song mode, so that is F8 plus A4, I can place one of those. Once I select a step, I step through the steps with increment and decrement buttons. That was F1 plus 1 and 2. So with the potentiometer, I can run through all of my patterns and go through to the bank. You'll see that there are 16 pages of patterns. And remember that a pattern can be from 1 to 4 bars, depending on your step division. So actually, you can create quite long song sequences with a caveat that you can't really loop internally. You can define it and then loop back to the start, but you can jump back to, say, bar 4. Let's move on to pattern bounce. That's on F8 plus A5. So in this mode, you have the pattern that's currently in memory. You can choose to bounce it to one of our sample slots. I'm not going to demonstrate it right now, but it's quite handy if you want to free up sample slots. Next to that, on F8 plus A6, we have pattern length. So your pattern can be any length from 1 to to 16 steps. Next to that, we have our swing setting. Little heartier on this one. Next to that, on F8 plus A8, we have our BPM setting. Yeah, we're moving through these quite quickly. Then F8 plus B1, we have our scale. So let's just clean our pattern. I'm going to select a blank song here and go load a blank pattern. Lose all changes. Yes, I'm okay with that. So now we're back to our kick. Let me just get rid of our vinyl sim. Okay, so let's go grab a sample that we can, a melodic sample that we can hear the arpeggiator on. So I'm gonna go into my instrument folder over here, and we're gonna select something like E-piano. Let's find an individual note. Okay, that pure net one will do. Cool stuff. And now I want to place it on A2. Cool. So now I have my sample over there. And let's quickly tune it. This is with auto tuning. Let's grab. Okay. So now it's in tune. And next, I'm gonna go to our trigger mode. This was a F1 and B7. I'm gonna select arpeggiator. And so now I can add my steps. Cool. So now we're back to our scale types on F8 plus B1. Currently major 7th, minor triad, blues heptatonic, blues hex, pentatonic minor, pentatonic major, minor harmonic, minor scale. And the other thing that we can do is change our root note. So you'll see on F8 plus B1, we have our scale type, but there's a little 2 up at the top, and that means that if I press that same combination again, I'll get to my second menu on this button combination, and that is scale root. I can change my root. C#5, cool. So now let's go to F8 plus B2. Arpeggiator types. In fact, let's make it a bit longer. So arp length is the second menu on F8 plus B2. Let's set it to 8 steps. And now let's listen to our arp types. Up, down, up and down, up and up an octave, random, skip step. This one's a bit harder to explain now. I have an explanation of what exactly it does in the manual on the website. Okay, and now we've gone through all of our arp types. Let's go to that converge one. Arp length we spoke about. Arp rate. So here's where things get a little different on the Mynah sampler, because the arpeggiator runs independently of the steps. So on this voice, on voice 2 that we are on, we're still triggering 16ths. And so the arpeggiator might be running at a different rate, but you're going to be hearing the 16ths that are triggered against that rate. And the good thing about that is that you can mute steps and create patterns like this that are playing the underlying arpeggiator. Let me bring them all back again. So there are quite a few creative choices that you can make like that. also conditions that we spoke about last time. You know, trigger conditions are often you want it to trigger. These all work in conjunction with the arpeggiator running at its own pace underneath. Cool. And then up next we have filter settings. We have per voice filter, but this is our master filter. So let's listen to that. This is Q, very high. So let's listen to the cutoff. Oops, it gets very resonant, obviously up that high. Maybe not so obvious as well is that you can automate also the master filter. So we can do that by holding F1 and recording something. And although the screen doesn't update, you can hear that we have now recorded that automation. Cool, that's our filter. After filter, we have delay. So let's have a look at our delay. I'm gonna go to our voice and just turn up delay all the way for it. Okay, you can set the delay in milliseconds from 0 to 1 second. Clearly you also want tempo sync delays, and so we have that on F8 with our delay again. The second page is delay sync. So now these are all synced delays. Oops. Cool. And then also we have delay mix. So how much of this delay do you want to hear? Turn it down really low or all the way up. That's our delay. Next to delay on F8 plus B5, we have our reverb. So let me go back to my voice and turn up the reverb on this voice. That was F1 plus A7, it's reverb send. Back to our reverb settings on F8 plus A5. So reverb, did I turn it all the way up? Okay, all the way up. Ooh, starts to distort a little bit there at very high levels. In fact, I can bring my voice volume down just a little bit so we can hear the delay. Sorry, the reverb, let's actually turn the delay down a bit. Concentrate on the reverb. Reverb size. Damp. No damp at all. It's a long reverb size with a lot of damping. This is an implementation of Freeverb, if you know Freeverb. Reverb on tails is an interesting one because out of the box our delay, the way that it's structured, our delay does not have a reverb because it's going to be delay before reverb. And so what we do is we have a setting here where you can choose to add the reverb to your delay tails. So let's see if we can demonstrate that. Maybe if I go back to our voice and just clean up this pattern a bit so we can hear the delay again. Clean the reverb. And let's hear a delay setting that will make this clear. Bring up the delay send. Actually, let me make it a shorter sound, so I'm just gonna shorten the sample. Let me space out the notes even more. And the delay time, let's make that a little longer. Okay, so now if we go add reverb, Not so clear here, but only our initial notes have a reverb on them. And to add reverb to our delay, we have the setting that I showed before. It's reverb on tails, and if you turn that all the way up, you are now getting reverb on those delay tails as well. The caveat being that that is global. So all of your delays get mixed to a bus, and that delay bus gets reverb on it. So that's what reverb on tails does. Cool stuff. Next up, we have some creative effects. Creative effects. Here we have bit crusher. Right now, no bit crushing, and we can step through 12 bits. 10 bits, you start to hear a hiss. 8 bits, this is what an 8-bit version of the Mynah would have sounded like, I suppose. Carry on until we just destroy it. 6 bits, 5 bits, how low can we go? Yeah, until it just becomes garbage. So that's our bit crusher. On this same setting is probably my favorite, Final Sim. So it's a very simplistic implementation, but effective. We mix in some vinyl noise recorded off an LP. So at low levels, we can start to hear some crackles being added. And once you go beyond 30%, we start to also close down on a filter, a high-pass filter. So it sounds kind of aged, you know, we lose top-end content. Harder to tell on this, on what's playing now, which didn't have a lot of high-end content to begin with, but that's the idea, and it's quite an effective, and I really like this effect. Cool. Next to that, we have our master compressor. So actually, let's make a little bit of a busier mix again. We don't have a snare, so let's add a snare. In fact, let's add a loop. I'm gonna find a loop in our browser. Let's go to something like, I'm just gonna exit the instruments. Let's go to our, oops, I'm sorry, instruments. Let's go to breaks, BRK. Go in here. I think I'm around 106. Let's do this. I'm gonna add it to samples for 3. Cool. So it should play there. Okay. Oh, it's sounding weird because I still have the filter cutoff automated. Right. In fact, I'll go back and listen to those effects that we listened to earlier as well with the filter off. Let's just check what our tempo was on that voice 3 sample. 105. Okay, so let's go to our BPM and turn that to 105. Cool. Cool. And let me just add tempo delay again. It doesn't automatically update if you change the BPM. So I go back in and select a tempo delay that works with the new BPM. Next up, let's just listen to those effects again. No, in fact, let me do the master compressor first. I'm going to pump it up all the way. It's going to start to break down at some point. Yeah, it's starting to get really nasty. But it really adds some nice glue to your mix. Let's just return to our Final Sim again. So now without the master filter automation, maybe you can hear it a little more clearly. Yeah, so now you can hear how it's closing that filter at the top to give it some sense of an aged vinyl that has lost some of its sparkle. Cool. Back to our master compressor settings, we have speed, also sidechain. So if you want to try some pumping effects with setting it to one of our voices, you can choose voice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you could set it to your kick, for example, on voice 1, and then really pump the compressor and see if you get that pumping sound. Cool, we're almost done. That was our compressor, compressor speed, sidechain, and that just leaves a volume. This is our master volume. One thing to note is that this gets saved when you turn the device on and off. It remembers your master volume so you don't get blasted away, if you had set a low volume. The other thing is that it's not automatable for that reason, because we save it as a device setting that you recall when the device is turned on. And the other thing is that volume is accessible from anywhere with F8 and the potentiometer. And so that was a quick look at all of our master settings. In fact, there are a couple more to show you. So that was F8 plus all of the step buttons. Then there are a couple more. If you go F8 with voice 6, for example, you get live play mode. We spoke about that in the other video, but you can toggle between live play and step entry modes. Next to that, we have clear voice. So if you have samples and steps on a particular voice, you can clear that, get rid of it. Next to that, we have, yes, I want to cancel. Next to that, we have quantization. So if you've recorded in live play mode and you want to quantize that, that's where that resides on F8 plus voice 4. Yes, cancel. And then next to that, we have voice copy. You can select to copy a voice with all of its samples, to somewhere else. Next to that, we have, let's see, copy. A settings page for our MIDI settings. We can select our clock source, internal MIDI. We can select whether we want to send a clock signal out, MIDI clock out, whether we want to transmit notes, yes or no. Pattern sync. If we want to, we have two Mynahs linked together via MIDI. If we want to respond to patch changes or pattern changes on the one, we want the other one to follow, we would set that to on. Let's see, that was that. And then finally, we have a detailed battery level over here. Currently, I'm not on the battery, so it's going to read nothing. Cool. And those were the settings. I think I'll make some more videos about more creative uses of the Mynah. These are just a walk through all of the functionality as we go through it. Thank you very much for watching. And the Mynah now is available in kit form at groovesizer.com. Thanks so much.